Hey guys, this is your girl Princess. Sorry. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And I can't go to sleep. Oh gosh. Sorry. Oh gosh. My name is Princess. If you follow me on my YouTube channel, it's Princess Show. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so if it look like I'm looking the other way, I'm sorry. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And I can't stop crying. Oh gosh, I can't stop crying. I woke up crying. So let me get straight to. I can't even talk. Oh gosh. So guys, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I've been having a heavy heart since Monday. I really didn't say much. Because I'm a non-confrontational individual, you know? Oh gosh. The more I wasn't saying nothing, the more it was hurting me. The more it was hurting me, the more I wasn't saying nothing, the more it was hurting me. Because saying nothing is giving an excuse that everything is okay. And it's not. It's not okay. It's really not. So I started getting anxieties. And if I was having a heart attack, so I went to the hospital. I kept on getting chest pains. Okay. I started getting chest pains because I've been emotionally just everywhere. And everything is on my timeline. On Facebook, you see it on TV. And it's like, why am I not saying what I want to say? And it kind of brought back memories that I don't want to think about, memories that I close up because You are always told to stop playing the race card or change the way that you think, or you know, life is what you make it, right? Oh gosh. And I tried so hard, and I moved so far, and I ran so far, so my kids won't ever have to. So my kids would never have to deal with what I grew up. I ran so far, it's so hard, and I didn't look back. And I never look back because I know how it feels. I know how it feels. I know how it feels. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm saying sorry for. I'm always apologizing for something that I have the right to feel. That I have the right to feel. Nobody should be told how to feel. Especially if you don't have to deal with it every day. Just like a background, just so people can understand. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. And you know, when I was when I was younger, my dad, right or wrong, decided to purchase, him and my mom decided to purchase a property in Kansas, in Wyandotte County. And during that time, there was not any minorities in the neighborhood. Not one lick. Not one. And my dad always, he always did this awakening moment for me. Times that I didn't want to be awakened. I didn't want to be awakened because at the time I was a kid. I was a kid. And I loved everybody. I loved everybody. So I didn't know why anybody would hate. Because I loved everybody. I loved everybody. And that was who my parents, whether, you know, we had a good or a bad childhood, that's what we was always brought up, is to respect the individual despite their race, their culture, to respect them as individuals. And we moved to this neighborhood, and you know, I was super happy. It was something new. At that time, I was staying at my grandma's house for school days, but on the weekends, I'll go to my dad's house in Kansas and stay over at his house, my mom's and my dad's house on the weekend, on the summertime. And across the street was a mixed family. One of the kids wasn't the man's child, and she was white, of course. And the mom was, of course, white, and the dad was, you know, he was Hispanic. And their last other, I believe it was their last other two was, you know, half white, half Hispanic. And we had a neighbor called next door by us. He was a white gentleman. And he was very nice at the beginning, to my understanding. He was nice. And then there was, you know, it was, you know, it wasn't any minorities. I mean, if you want to call the dad, the one that was Hispanic, yeah. What I'm trying to get to is, I used to, as a kid, like all kids, we tend to, like, we ran around. We have fun, you know. We had no cares in the world. I was like, what, 7 years old? And I'm assuming, you know, kids across the street, the guy next door had his grandchildren come over. Hey, I'm gonna meet some new friends, you know. But Lord, that was not the case. That was not, that wasn't the case at all. That wasn't an issue. So I remember, I was down the yard. It was, in our backyard. It was the people that used to live there. They had like a tomato garden. And we was so bad. Me and my brother was so bad. And, you know, it was so bad. And we was playing in the tomato garden. And we was pulling the tomatoes out. I don't know. And we didn't know anything about this, but this guy had a flag. Okay? He had a flag in the back of his yard. And it was a Confederate flag. That my dad just finally told me. And I was just like, oh, he wouldn't hurt somebody like me. Because I'm a girl 7 years old. I was 7 years old. So he had 2 big dogs. And we was in the backyard. And we just having fun. We just didn't think that. We didn't know. He hated me. He didn't even know me. He didn't know me. He didn't even get to know. I was a tomboy that liked to take off my shirt, think I was one of the guys. He didn't know. And my favorite color was red. So, because he didn't want us in his neighborhood, in those exact words, he unhooked his dogs and let his dog out to us. And by the grace of God, my dad was there. Oh, by the grace of God. And that's when it started beginning. Like, that's when I had my first lesson, right? I had my first lesson. And, you know, at first that really didn't shock me. That didn't really shock me. I'm like, still naive to the situation. I'm like, you know, maybe he didn't mean it. Oh, Princess, I had so much hope for people, humankind. I had so much hope. And I was just like, no, he didn't mean it. So me and my brother used to go down the street, and that's how we got to 7-Eleven. And we were going to go and get us like some candy. And I guess the same man had his other people with him. And that's what we were did. So I can't even talk. So we walking down the street because we'll go to 7-Eleven. And I have like 50 cents or 75 cents. And if on, you know, the 7-Eleven, it used to have like 5 cents, bubble gum, 10 cents, whatever. So I had a little change. So I'm like, oh, to my brother, like, oh, let's go to 7-Eleven. And so while we walking down the street, he's like, hey, little coons, 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 coons. So I looked at my brother and said, why they calling us coons? I didn't know what a coon was. So I went to my daddy and I was like, Dad, people keep calling us coons. When we keep walking down the street. Why? And I wasn't emotional then because I didn't understand it. I wasn't emotional at then. I really wasn't. But now, as a 30-year-old woman, it makes me emotional because I have 3 little ones. And I'm just really getting tired of it. I really get tired of it. So, you know, my dad had some words with those men because my dad was a big guy. So my dad was like my superhero to protect us. Putting his life in front of us as a man. And my dad would get called, police would get called on him. Just try to protect us about what's going on. So after that situation, I guess those people moved out or something happened. And I thought that the neighborhood was going to get better, but of course, it didn't. And so, sorry guys, I'm not editing any of this. I'm just, so, I wanted to play with the kids across the street. And I'm not going to say their names. But you still want to play across the street with these kids. And first they would play with us. Now, I didn't grow up with the finer things, okay? Growing up was hard anyway, you know, because we didn't have, that's another story, but we didn't have, like, everything. So, you know, growing up in a dysfunctional household anyway was already messed up. So when we seen a family, what we picture as a family sitting together, we wanted that as kids, and so we wanted to be around their family. So me and my brother would go across the street to these people's houses, and we'll want to play with their kids, and we'll play with them. But the mom will come out and she'll be like, no, y'all need to come in. And we'll go back to our house and we'll try to figure out, like, why we couldn't come over or why we couldn't play. Like, as kids, we didn't know for sure. So later on, we found out that from her, I believe it was her older daughter. No, it wasn't her older daughter. It was the younger one, because the older daughter started pushing back. She really didn't care about playing with us. At first, she was really nice. We thought she was nice, but no, the little girl told us that her mom had basically said that she didn't want her kids around any and if you already know what I'm talking about, kids. So, I didn't understand because, you know, we was kids. So what was different from me? What was so different to me? Like, I just wanted to play as a kid. And it was just a day and night. Sorry. Day and night. Because when I go to my grandma's house, my grandma lived in an all-black neighborhood, and I was accepted and loved. But when I go to this neighborhood, and I used to hate it. I used to hate it. I used to have to go to my dad's house. And it's like, oh my gosh. Like, I felt like I was living in 1960s or 1950s. Like, these people just, what's wrong with you? Like, and now you teach your kids. So, I'm just sitting there like, what did I do wrong to you? I'm sorry. So, they really didn't want my dad in that neighborhood. And this is before minorities start moving into the neighborhood. And that's when people started moving out. Now, mind you, this was in the 90s. No, almost late 90s, okay? So, I'm not that old, okay, guys? And this was happening in the late 90s. And as much people want to paint this picture like this is not happening, it is happening. So, I remember in Kansas and Missouri, you know, they have a city and stuff like that. And they will call the city on my dad because my dad was repairing the house. Like, he was getting everything done. But some of his stuff, like he had some of his tools that was on the porch, or he has some like his like cinder blocks, or he'll have now mind you, we just moved in, so he's remodeling the place because it was a duplex. So he's trying to fix it. In order for you to fix something, you have, you know, you're gonna have like wood that's gonna be sitted out. Like he had all of his equipment that was outside. He had all his equipment outside to fix the house. Kept on calling the city saying, like, basically it was trashy, whatever. It wasn't trashy. It was just wood that was outside because he was about to go ahead and fix the porch. It was just like minor things that was needed to be fixed as new owners, okay? If you're a new owner, you know you have to fix your home. He couldn't fix his home because everybody kept calling, okay? Because they wanted to get him out of the neighborhood. They wanted to get him out of the neighborhood. So one day after court, I had a cat. And I'm sorry for people that don't want to hear this, but this is the truth. I had a cat. Called him Tiger. You know, he was gold and white. Tiger didn't do nothing to nobody. And I'm thinking maybe I accidentally had the door open or something of that nature. He maybe got out. Because usually he stayed inside. So my dad had a trailer. And when we got home, my cat was killed. And his blood was on our side. Our medicine said, go home. My dad had to fight every day for us to live there, and nobody fought for us. Nobody fought for us. Guys. Nobody fought for us. Nobody never said that's not right. Nobody said leave that family alone. Nobody said Let those kids be kids. Nobody said, let's help out. Nobody. So my dad gets into it with the neighbors because found out that it was his son and it was the old neighbors that was across the street. It was just like a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm seeing my father fighting these men, and he's the only man trying to protect us. Trying to protect us. And I want to fight too, because I don't want to hurt him. I got to fight. A fight that I should never have to fight. A fight that a 7 or 8-year-old girl is supposed to, oh gosh. It just brings back memories. Out of the good thing out of that neighborhood is where, sorry, my nose, is where my child best friend, Twilly, moved across the street, and that's when my life changed for good. And she was my little Vietnamese friend, and I loved her so much. I still to this day love her. And she moved and she accepted me. She loved me. She accepted me. She loved me. Her family left us. And, before you know it, my childhood friend Brianna, she moved up the street. And she, it was a Black family. And she accepted me and loved me. And I just knew, like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, there's not going to be any good that's going to come from this. There's no good that's going to come from this at all. That's what I was thinking. There was no good that was going to come from this situation. And then I look at my kids, and my daughter, she loves people. My oldest, she loves people. And she defends people. She defends you for your race, your size. She doesn't care. She loves you. And that's what I instilled on her, to love people. I work so hard, fight so hard for them. And then I look at my son, and I say, that innocent smile is one day going to be some person that's going to be intimidating of him. And my son, if anybody know my son is a teddy bear. And he's loving. Oh my gosh, I'm so congested out. This is when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my mind. This is what I have lived for 30 years. Having to deal with. It is so much more stories. It's so much. I can't even speak. It's so much more. All I would ask for you guys to do is, for non-Black people, speak up. If you know that is something that you're seeing is not right, speak up. If you're not aware or unsure, if you're not educated about somebody else's culture, reach out to them, talk to them, get to know them. Stop bringing this to our kids. Our kids are seeing this. Our kids get affected by it. The only way how we can stop racism is if we have each other's back. If we go ahead and point out and say, listen, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm here for I'm here for you. It has to stop. Alright, guys. I can't do it. Alright, bye.